My name is James Norman. I'm a United States citizen. I'm currently residing in the United States. I came back from China in September 2020 when I turned 60. I was forced to retire by the Chinese government from the company that I was working for, Wall Street English, in Beijing. I worked for Wall Street English since January 2015 until September 2020. Before that, I worked for 1 year at Disney English in Beijing. And during all that time, I was having money removed from my payroll, not by choice, but by the government, to invest in a retirement fund. Now, I will not collect from that fund like most retired people do in China. Because I'm a foreigner, that money is accrued and the principal is then given back to the investor or the worker who had been working in China, and it's given back without interest. So all of the principal from that investment is to be given back to that person. Now, I asked at Wall Street English many times, probably starting more than 3 years ago. I had thought it was 2, but no, I started asking long before that. Started asking my manager, the HR people, whoever would entertain the question. I asked them, how do I get that money? And the answer came back pretty much the same story every time. When you leave China, it's automatic. That money will be taken from the Social Security Administration in China and put directly into your bank account. That's what I heard again and again and again. And I only heard this from the people at Wall Street English. I never asked about it at Disney. And not too many people knew much about it. Not many of the foreigners that I was working with knew much about it. And there was only one source that I could go to that I could give any credibility, which was the HR department at my company. Now, not speaking or understanding Chinese at all. I know lots of words, but I really don't speak or understand spoken or written Chinese. So who could I trust? Who could I go and ask? HR. Well, fortunately for most HR departments in most companies in China, Chinese people are very loyal and subservient to their company. Whatever company they might work for, they just do what the company says and they play things the company way. Well, great. Wall Street English is a company that employs hundreds of foreigners. And these foreigners come with different kinds of attitudes about work. But mostly it's a Western attitude where we don't bow down to the company, that we have a partnership with the company, and that we have as much right as the company has to do the things that we have to do. Wall Street isn't very good at dealing with Western people, even though they employ hundreds of them. HR has always been a problem, a real big problem. I'll talk about that in another video. I wanted to know more about how it was that I was going to collect this money. And I asked my manager, I asked everybody, and pretty much I was told to, shut the fuck up, Jamie. Stop asking so many questions. It's just going to come. It's going to come when it comes. Just stop asking questions and shut the fuck up. Well, this doesn't sit well for Westerners. This doesn't sit well for foreigners in China. We don't operate that way. It's our money. It's my money in this case. I earned it. I invested it in the Social Security Administration in China. I allowed them to use my money to accrue interest for other people's accounts. I do not have any right to interest. That's okay. Well, it's my money. I have a right to know how it is that it's being invested. How's it being used? What's going to happen when it gets returned? Who's going to claim it? How does it work? I want to know all the mechanics of getting my money from the account at the Social Security Administration to me. I have a right to know that. It's my money. God damn it, I earned it. Now, Wall Street English had taken it upon itself to act as my agent, to act as the agent for every person who, upon leaving China after working last at Wall Street English, they do the same thing. They work as their agent to get that money. Now, I don't know how it works. And I have asked my agent many times, this is the HR department at Wall Street English, how does it work? They will not tell me. They don't answer questions. In fact, they remain aloof and strangely silent. What are they hiding from me? Now, they told me that it was going to take no longer than 6 months. 6 months has come and gone. 7 months have come and gone. 8 months have come and gone. 9 months have come and gone. So this is taking 50% longer so far, and still no sign of my money. Now, why don't I have my money? I don't know, because I don't know how it works, because nobody told me. Where is my money? Now, they told me again and again, it's going to take 6 months. Just shut up, stop asking questions, stop talking, and you'll get your money in 6 months. Well, it didn't happen. Now it's 9 months. Where's my money? Why isn't anybody telling me anything? Now, one of the reasons that this worries me so much is because my former company, Wall Street English, has a recent history of stealing money from their employees, blatantly stealing money from their employees. After COVID broke out, they allowed people to work an entire month and then didn't pay them. And everyone was getting concerned and freaking out. And I was one of the leaders of a group that was looking into what kind of legality that we could invoke. A lot of the people who were in on it were really pussies, afraid of the Chinese corporation, which is really kind of too bad. I've been on this planet twice as long as most of my coworkers. And, they had the balls to go to China, but they didn't have the balls to step up against David Kedwards. Please. Now, so they stole a month of our salary. Didn't tell us. They allowed us to continue working until they didn't pay us, and people started asking questions, and they didn't pay us, and they didn't pay us. And then finally they said, well, we're not going to pay you because we don't have to. And COVID has broken out. And so we're trying to save the company and blah, 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 blah. Whatever the fuck they said. Just absolute ridiculous bullshit. And this company was owned by a bank. Owned by a bank. Now, what bank in the world would allow a company to exist, to borrow money from them without having a full year of operating capital? Okay, anyway, several months later, in July, I think it was, they were trying to, the founder of the company was trying to buy it back. And in the middle of this buyback, we didn't get paid for 10 days, 11 days, 12 days, 14 days. I don't know how long it was. I don't remember how long it was. I have evidence, but I don't remember off the top of my head. So why didn't, and they didn't tell us that it was going to happen. And then they didn't tell us why it happened. They didn't tell us when they were going to pay us until several days later. So what happened was, this is pretty common knowledge, they needed show money for the sale. They had to say, hey, look, we've got all this money set aside. Well, no, it was the fucking company payroll. It wasn't their money. They didn't have any money set aside. It was bullshit. And when we put all this stuff together in a timeline, you can see the incredible corruption that was going on here. Now, why is this important? Why am I talking about this? Well, I'm sure the press would be interested, but why am I talking about this? I'm talking about this because now my personal money is missing. Where is my money? Where's my personal money? I have no idea. Does the government have it? Does the agency that they hired to get it have it? Does my former company, Wall Street English, have it? Well, it's certainly not in my bank account. I don't have it. Who has my money? Why has it taken 9 months? I consulted a law firm in Beijing about how this works about 2 months ago, a month and a half ago. And they said, oh, it's really simple. You know, if you have an agent, which is your company, you know, they go down there and it takes about 2 weeks. What, 2 weeks? They always told me 6 months. Yeah, well, you know, they tell you things. Where's my money? Where is my money? Now, I figure that there's somewhere between $18,000 and $21,000 for me. That's quite a bit of cash. And it's mine. Now, if Lynn Li, the HR representative for foreigners in Beijing, was doing her job as she alleged that she is, although she doesn't communicate at all really with anybody, she just told me, shut up and, you know, you'll get it in 6 months. Just, you know, stop talking, stop asking questions, you'll get your money. Oh, by the way, where is my money? Okay, now, Lynn Li should have posted my application in September of 2020. Did she? I don't know. I asked Maggie Ren, the head of HR in Beijing. She didn't answer the question. I asked oh, what's her name? The national head of HR. I asked her pointedly, I'll remember her name in a minute, I'll mention it. I asked her pointedly, did Lynn Li make that application in September? Well, either yes, she did, or no, she didn't. And I want proof. I want to see with my eyes that she made this application on a certain date. Now, they hired an agency to do this, a Tesco or a Fesco or something. I don't know what they're called. It's a financial company that does stuff for big companies. In any case, if she had done this back in September, I think it would be done by now. The law office that I consulted with in Beijing told me that there are no delays. There are no delays right now. There haven't been any delays. So what's the delay? Is Lynn Li too busy dealing with other foreigners that the company has been representing? What is the holdup? Where is my money? We're talking about thousands and thousands of dollars that I earned with my blood, sweat, and tears. Where is my money?